Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. And today I'm going to be making all-in-one roast beef. And as you may know, I'm vegetarian, but my family aren't, so I'm making this for them. And I'm also going to do a cheese bake with vegetables in, based on a cauliflower cheese recipe. So these are the ingredients I'm going to be using. We've got broccoli, French beans, onion, garlic, carrots, asparagus, and celery. The key ingredients are carrots, onion and garlic and celery. Everything else I've added in because I want those as part of my meal. Other ingredients are dried mushrooms, stock, dry white wine, corn flour, and of course the beef. So this is British beef, top side joint, 600 grams, serves 2 to 3. So the recipe actually calls for 1,000 to 1,200 grams of beef, but I think this will be absolutely fine. You can do whatever size you want. Okay, so let's get started. The first part of the recipe, let's press start cooking. The first part of the recipe is actually weighing and soaking the mushrooms. So what you can do is you put your bowl on. What's next? Then you weigh in the mushrooms that you need. And then it says, cover with boiling water and soak according to packet instructions. So you can see I've got my mushrooms on to soak there. And my packet calls for 30 minutes. So that's still been going for a while. So in a minute, we'll drain the mushrooms and we'll cut them into slices. But in the meantime, we're going to get the rest of the vegetables ready. These are the vegetables that are going to go in the bowl with the beef. And now I'm going to prepare the veg that's going in the varoma at the top to get steamed. This is the varoma, and it goes on top of the Thermomix like this. And here is where you can do all your steaming. I'll show you. It's got 2 layers. So that's the lid. And then you've got the layer at the top and then the bottom. So there's plenty of space. But let's put the vegetables in here ready to be steamed. So I've divided up the vegetables and I've got the carrots in the lower basket because these are going to get a bit of extra time. And then later on, I'm going to add in a bit more of this broccoli into the lower basket. And then we've got asparagus and green beans, and they'll all put together for the last part. So that is now ready to go. So coming back to the mushrooms, my mushrooms are now completely soaked. So I'm going to drain them and we'll give them a chop. I'm actually going to keep the mushroom juice so that I can use it later. That smells so nice. Lovely. Right, let's get these mushrooms chopped up. What does it say? It says, drain mushrooms in simmering basket and cut into slices. So it says simmering basket, which you can use to do your draining, but I just used a sieve. So cut into slices and then put the drained mushrooms in the bowl. We're probably not going to be eating these mushrooms. I think these are going to give that depth of flavour to the meat. So let's add them in. Okay, and next. So it wants the carrot, the celery, the onion, and the garlic, which I have already prepared in my dish. Just add them. Next, 50 grams of extra virgin olive oil. This is the one that I'm using. Of course, you can substitute any oil that you like. Next, insert measuring cup into the bowl with the lid. Next, so it's already set the timer at 3 seconds. no temperature, and it's telling me to turn the speed selector to number 6. So here we go. Next, scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl with okay, all the mushrooms and vegetables chopped up. So I just need to push it down from the sides with my spatula. Next, place the simmering basket on top. So take the cup out and put the simmering basket on, which will allow the vapors to escape. So next, so this time it's 3 minutes and it's 120 degrees Celsius, and it wants me to turn it to speed 1. So let's do that. Okay, we're all done. So what have we got next? Using a total of 500 to 600 mixed vegetables, cut in pieces, which we've already done. Place hard vegetables at the bottom. Right, so it just wants the harder vegetables, so we're just going to put the carrots in. So I'll take the simmering basket off, and I don't want the top layer of vegetables, just the bottom ones. Goes on there. So next, it says the softer vegetables will be added later. Right, so now, we don't want that on there yet. So now, I need to open up the beef and put it into the bowl. Here we go. This is something that I don't do very often. I'm not an expert. Right. I'm just going to put this straight in. Yes, it's trussed up into a square shape. Next, ensure beef is resting lightly on the blades. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like and see. So let's put this beef lightly on the blade. Okay. Right. Next, 100 grams of dry white wine. Next, 100 grams of water. Next, 1 tablespoon of stock paste. Next, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. There's 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper, but I'm allergic to that, so I'm not putting it in. Not that I'm going to eat it, mind, but I don't even have it in my kitchen, so we won't add that in. And also my children won't eat it. So place covered varoma with harder vegetables into position. Okay, so we put the lid on, and then the varoma with the carrots. Next. Okay, so we're now at 30 minutes at 100 degrees Celsius, and you can see here there's a little 80 above the 100. That's the current temperature in the bowl, but it's going to go up to 100. And then you can see here, it wants me to turn it to speed stir, which is the lowest it goes. But it also has this little green symbol that means reverse. So the reverse blade, instead of cutting it, it just stirs it. Okay, so 30 minutes. Let's just have a preview and see what's coming up. So it seems all to do with putting it in again and putting in the other vegetables and then making sure the vegetables are cooked at the end, which is fine. So we don't need to do any prep for that. So I will see you in 30 minutes. Okay, let's have a look. Right, so carrots. These are probably not going to be cooked yet. They smell really nice. Okay, so while I'm here, I'm going to add in the other broccoli. And just even out this layer and the lid. See, it's cooking and its sauce looks good down there. Right, let's see what the Thermomix says. So next, transfer any cooked vegetables into the thermal serving bowl. Well, nothing is cooked, so don't need to take anything out. Then set aroma aside and turn meat over in the mixing bowl. Okay, so here we go. Got to turn over the meat. Okay, looks good. Bowl on. When you're cooking, of course, you can keep the bowl on. You don't need to take it off. I'm only taking it off to show you. So let's put the Verona back on. Next, cover, done. Right, so now we've got another 20 minutes at 100 degrees C with the reversed reverse blade. And it says prolong time by 10 minutes if necessary until meat is cooked to your liking. So here we go. Anyway, let's put it on stir. And I will see you in another 20 minutes. Okay, let's have a look. First, let's check the veg. Needs probably another 15 minutes. A really good steam still. Looks fine to me. Next, transfer meat and the cooked vegetables. And it says transfer the meat to a thermal serving bowl or other large bowl to keep warm and leave meat to rest. So let's transfer the meat into this bowl. I have to say that sauce looks amazing, look. So I think actually to save time, I could steam the vegetables in the Thermomix to finish them off. But what I'm going to do is transfer them into my steamer for the hob, and then I'm going to make the cheese sauce and put it all in the oven. So let me show you the next recipe that I'm using. Right, it's cauliflower cheese. So I'm not making cauliflower cheese, but I'm doing vegetables in cheese sauce. The first part of it is chopping the cheese, but then it goes on to steaming the vegetables. So we're going to miss out the steaming the vegetables step, and we're just going to do the cheese, and then we'll make the sauce. So let's do it. This is my second bowl. Let's get the ingredients. So here are the ingredients for my cheese sauce. I'm going to use cheddar, although you can use Gruyere cheese, but it gives you the option. And I've got unsalted butter, sea salt, flour, but because it's just for thickening, so I'm going to use gluten-free flour so that everyone can have it, and milk. So let's get cooking. So start cooking. First one is it wants either the Gruyere cheese or the cheddar cheese. But again, 8 seconds on number 7 just to chop up the cheese. I'm transferring this to the bowl. So 50 grams of flour. Next, 40 grams of unsalted butter. 500 grams of milk. Next, half a teaspoon of salt. 2 pinches of white pepper, not putting that in. And on with the bowl. So now it's 7 minutes on 90 degrees, and it's asking me to turn it to number 3. So I will see you in 6 minutes. Okay, welcome back. In those 6 minutes, I checked the vegetables and they are actually nearly done. So I've turned on the oven to heat up the grill. Let's check out the sauce. So next, nutmeg. I can't have nutmeg, but it would taste really nice if you added nutmeg. Add 70 grams of the reserve cheese. See what it looks like. So we've got the white sauce there. 70 grams. Next, and 5 seconds on number 5. So let's have a quick taste. I'm sure it's going to taste amazing, as the cheese sauces usually do. It really is so creamy, really nice. Okay, let's check out the next bit. So now it's put the cheese sauce over the vegetables. So let's get the vegetables in the dish. I've got Sophie here as well. She's going to be helping me with taste testing in a minute. Right, so I've got the carrots and the broccoli. So let's cover these with the cheese sauce. Okay, I think probably put some more broccoli in there, cover that nicely. So, oh, that does look good. So, although this is a cauliflower cheese recipe, really, you could use it for any vegetables. Place under grill for 10 minutes until golden brown. So the last thing we need to do is the sauce for the beef. So let's go back to the other one. See that? Next is, in a small bowl, combine 1 tablespoon of corn flour with 1 tablespoon of water. My corn flour. Corn flour is for thickening. Next, I'm going to add it in. Next, add the resting juices from the meat. This is all new to me. Here is the meat. See if there's any juices. There's a little bit, not a lot, but there is a bit. You can see the tiny bit. So let's add those in. Next, place simmering basket on the mixing bowl. Simmering basket bowl on. Next. So now it's 4 minutes and it says Varoma on temperature. Varoma is as hot as it goes. That's very hot and it wants it on speed number 1. Right, so I'm going to have a quick tidy up now because we must be nearly ready on the cheese bake, and we've got the vegetables, we've got the meat, we've got the sauces, and we'll be ready to serve. So see you in a few minutes. Welcome back. It's a good gravy, good consistency. I don't know quite how to cut this. Yeah. Does that look good? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Want to give it a try? Yeah. Let me suspense and build up. Is it a good flavour? Yeah. Really? Good? Yeah. It's good. You want some for dinner? Yeah. Excellent. Okay, let's serve. Right, you take that away. This is the vegetable cheese bake, which looks really good. Great. That's Sophie's. Right, so this is mine. And that's Sophie's. Does it look good? Yeah. Okay. Right. It's quite hot. You need to blow it. I will. It's hot. It's really good. The cheese sauce is amazing. Really nice. I think you could put any vegetables in this and it would just taste fantastic. You could also use this as like a macaroni cheese sauce as well. Although I think for some reason this cheese tastes a little bit sweeter than the normal one I use. Really nice. Anyway, there you go. You need to blow it. Yeah. Let's try the asparagus. I love asparagus. just realised we haven't used the gravy. So let's put the gravy on your meat. What do you think? Really good? Yeah. Right, try the meat with the gravy this time. I've already cut a little bit off for you there. You like the gravy? Yeah? Do you prefer it with or without the gravy?
I can't taste the difference, honestly.
Okay. Anyway, big success. Okay. So hopefully this goes to show that even if you're a vegetarian, you can still cook meat in your Thermomix for your family without knowing anything about cooking meat.